What if one decision could shock two of the most important women in your life and change Hollywood forever? Keanu Reeves, the man known for silence and humility, made a choice no one expected. Sandra Bullock was left stunned. Alexandra Grant never saw it coming. This wasn't a breakup. This wasn't a scandal. This was something far deeper. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Keanu Reeves' decision left everyone speechless. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Now, let's dive into what really happened. No one saw this coming. Not Hollywood. Not his millions of fans. And certainly not the two women who mattered most in his life. When Keanu Reeves made a life-changing decision, it didn't arrive with headlines or dramatic announcements. It came quietly, but its impact was loud enough to shake the entire entertainment world. Within hours, whispers turned into disbelief, and disbelief turned into one burning question. Why now? Keanu Reeves has always been different. In an industry obsessed with fame, wealth, and constant attention, he chose silence over noise. While others chased luxury cars, massive mansions, and viral moments, Keanu walked the streets like an ordinary man. He rode the subway, wore simple clothes, and treated everyone, from fans to strangers, with the same respect. Over the years, this quiet humility turned him into something rare in Hollywood, a superstar without ego. Because of that, people believed they understood Keanu. They thought they knew his rhythm: make a film, disappear, return, repeat. But this time, he broke that pattern. His decision wasn't just another career move. It wasn't about money or roles or fame. It was emotional. It was deeply personal. And most importantly, it was completely unexpected. For years, fans had speculated about Keanu's personal life. His powerful on-screen chemistry with Sandra Bullock had turned into one of Hollywood's most talked-about what-if stories. Their bond went beyond co-stars. It was built on trust, respect, and an unspoken understanding that time never erased. At the same time, Keanu's relationship with Alexandra Grant represented something different: maturity, peace, and emotional stability. She wasn't just a partner. She was a creative companion who understood his silence. Both women held unique and irreplaceable places in his life. That's why the shock was so deep. No one imagined that a single decision, made quietly, without explanation, could affect both relationships so profoundly. When the news finally surfaced, it didn't just surprise people, it unsettled them. Fans, friends, and insiders were left asking the same haunting question. Why would Keanu Reeves choose this moment to change everything? And that question marked the beginning of a story no one was prepared for. To truly understand why Keanu Reeves' decision caused such a deep emotional reaction, we have to travel back to the 1990s. Long before social media, before constant headlines, and before both stars became Hollywood legends. It was during the filming of Speed that Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock first crossed paths. From the very beginning, something felt different. Their on-screen chemistry was effortless, natural, and impossible to ignore. Audiences didn't just watch them, they believed in them. Fans immediately sensed a real connection. Interviews, behind-the-scenes moments, and their genuine smiles sparked endless rumors of a secret romance. For years, people wondered if there was more than friendship between them. And then, years later, the truth quietly came out. Both Keanu and Sandra admitted something that surprised everyone. They had feelings for each other at the time. Real feelings. But neither of them made a move. Life had its own plans. Their careers took off in different directions. Schedules became demanding, and opportunities pulled them apart. What could have been was left behind, not out of fear, but out of timing. Sometimes, the right people meet at the wrong moment. And that reality became a silent chapter in both of their lives. Despite the distance, the emotional connection never truly faded. Sandra Bullock has always spoken about Keanu Reeves with rare admiration. In interviews, her words go beyond polite praise. She calls him kind, genuine, thoughtful, someone who feels almost out of place in Hollywood. To Sandra, Keanu wasn't just a former co-star, he was someone who understood life's deeper pains. Both of them experienced loss, heartbreak, and resilience in ways few people can truly understand. That shared emotional understanding created a bond that didn't need constant contact to survive. It lived quietly, unspoken, but strong. So when Sandra heard about Keanu's life-changing decision, the shock wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. It stirred memories of unanswered questions and what-if moments that had been buried for decades. It made her reflect on the paths not taken and the silent connection that time never erased. This moment wasn't about romance anymore. It was about fate, timing, and the powerful choices that shape who we become and who we leave behind. While Sandra Bullock represents a meaningful chapter from Keanu Reeves' past, Alexandra Grant represents the life he is living right now, and perhaps the future he quietly hopes for. Their relationship didn't follow the usual Hollywood script. There were no dramatic reveals, no flashy headlines, and no attempt to impress the world. Instead, it unfolded slowly, naturally, and with intention. Alexandra Grant is not a typical Hollywood partner. She is an accomplished visual artist, known for her intelligence, depth, and creative vision. She lives in a world of ideas, words, and meaning, far removed from red carpets and box office numbers. When the public first learned about their relationship, many were surprised. Some questioned it. But those who looked beyond appearances saw something rare. Two people connected by understanding rather than attention. With Alexandra, Keanu found something he had been missing for a long time: peace. Not excitement. Not validation. Peace. Their bond wasn't built on constant presence in the spotlight, but on quiet moments, shared creativity, and mutual respect. Together, they collaborated on art projects, supported charitable causes, and chose a life that felt real rather than performative. Alexandra understood Keanu in a way few people ever could. She respected his silence, his introspection, and his desire to live simply despite global fame. She never tried to change him or push him toward a louder life. Instead, she walked beside him, allowing him to be exactly who he is. So when Keanu made a decision that pulled him even further away from Hollywood's center, it directly affected Alexandra as well. This wasn't just a career choice, it was a lifestyle shift. And while the decision shocked many, for Alexandra it carried deeper weight. Loving Keanu Reeves meant accepting a partner who consistently chooses purpose over comfort and meaning over recognition. She wasn't just surprised. She was faced with the reality of loving someone who listens more to his soul than to the world's expectations. This decision was never about leaving someone behind. It wasn't about escape or rejection. It was about alignment, choosing a life that reflects inner truth. And with Alexandra Grant, Keanu Reeves wasn't just choosing a partner. He was choosing a life that finally felt like home. So, what exactly was Keanu Reeves' shocking decision? The answer stunned Hollywood, fans, and even those closest to him. Keanu chose to step back from the spotlight in a way almost no actor at the height of their career ever would. He turned down high-profile movie projects, reduced his public appearances, and shifted his focus toward personal fulfillment, creativity, and giving back to the world in ways that mattered to him. For someone whose name alone can fill theaters, this was unheard of. Most actors measure success by fame, awards, or the size of their paycheck. But Keanu doesn't follow the usual rules. He never did. He didn't make this choice for money. He has already given away millions. He didn't do it for recognition or applause. He never sought the spotlight. He did it because he reached a moment of clarity, a point in life where he realized that time is far more valuable than accolades, and purpose outweighs popularity. Keanu's life hasn't been easy, and perhaps that shaped this decision. His known immense loss, the untimely death of his best friend, River Phoenix, the heartbreaking loss of a child he never got to raise, and the tragic passing of a former partner. These moments could have broken him, yet they gave him wisdom. They taught him that life is fragile, fleeting, and far too precious to spend chasing anything hollow. When Sandra Bullock heard about this, she felt a complex mix of emotions. She understood the weight of his choice, closing a chapter of life that once connected them so profoundly. It wasn't just a career shift. It was a reflection of his inner journey and the priorities he had chosen after decades of experiences, joys, and heartbreaks. For Alexandra Grant, the decision was equally transformative. Choosing this quieter life meant embracing a path of privacy and intentional living, a life far from the constant scrutiny of Hollywood. It required patience, understanding, and courage. Alexandra's support was essential, but even she felt the shock of realizing just how much this choice would reshape their daily lives. Keanu wasn't running away from Hollywood, from fans, or from the world. He was choosing himself. Finally, he was prioritizing authenticity, peace, and meaning over everything else. And in doing so, he sent a message that resonated far beyond the entertainment industry. Sometimes, the bravest act is not achieving more, it's choosing what truly matters. In a world where celebrities are constantly fighting for attention, relevance, and headlines, Keanu Reeves did something completely different. He stepped back. He refused to chase the spotlight, refused to measure himself by box office numbers, and refused to let the world define him. And that is precisely why he has earned such admiration, not just from fans, but from colleagues, friends, and even Hollywood insiders. Keanu's decision was a powerful reminder that true success is not about visibility. It is not about how many people see your name on a marquee or how many followers you have online. Real success, as Keanu showed, comes from living honestly, with integrity, and prioritizing what truly matters: peace, purpose, and authenticity. Sandra Bullock, someone who shares a deep and emotional history with him, respected his choice, even if it brought up memories of the past. She understood that life sometimes calls for hard decisions, decisions that are bigger than fame or personal desire. Alexandra Grant, his partner in the present, stood by him fully. Their journey together showed that love isn't always glamorous or public. It is often about walking a quieter, less obvious path, side by side, with patience and understanding. Fans around the world reacted with awe and admiration. Social media exploded with support, calling Keanu the last real Hollywood star, a man who refuses to bend to the pressures of an industry obsessed with appearances and noise. And perhaps that is the real shock, not that he chose to step away, but that he had the courage to do it. Keanu Reeves reminded the world that life isn't about choosing between people or fame. It is about choosing yourself, choosing your values, and choosing a life aligned with your heart and soul. In doing so, he turned a personal choice into a global lesson, showing millions of people that bravery sometimes comes in quiet decisions, not loud gestures. By stepping back, Keanu Reeves didn't just shock Sandra Bullock, Alexandra Grant, or Hollywood. He inspired millions of fans to rethink what matters in life, to value peace over prestige, and authenticity over appearances. He became more than an actor. He became a legend, not because of his roles on screen, but because of the courage he displayed in living his life honestly, quietly, and with unwavering purpose.